back. Hey guys, what's up?
Swishcast!
Swishcast! Alright.
Yes!
Hey guys, we're back again. Episode 97 of the Swishcast. Yeah,
that
that's
is
a
a
rough
lot.
estimate.
23.
That is a rough estimate. Okay, hey guys.
Rough estimate.
Anyway, guys, we are back with the Swishcast. Great episode planned. Gonna be a bit better than last week. I know that was a controversial one.
But this is a bit more traditional.
They're a bit more traditional. There will be no elaborate jokes or hoaxes this episode. So expect a good old chat. All right, like just like normal, just like old times. All right,
Just like normal, let's go around the table.
let's do our traditional table. So at the top right, we have the big P, the big smoker, the big penis. It is me, Party. On the left, we have.
Oh, Brett, it's Indy! He's so awesome! What's going on, guys?
He has no gimmick. He just sucks the air. All right, bottom left, we have
Top of the morning to you,
Ireland's
Sam.
worst shagger.
All right. This is not a good first impression for Agro.
It's what we do every episode.
I don't know. User is especially hyperactive this episode. I don't know why.
I'm very excited. All right, top.
Okay. And we have our brand new special guest for this week. Bottom right, we have Agro from the Kritzkast. Say hello.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Swishcast, the
Yeah!
Team Fortress 2 podcast. This is merely the introduction. There is much more to come. Stay tuned for things.
Awesome.
That was
Incredibly
amazing.
Absolute.
See,
Absolute.
Sam,
I
we've
think
all got...
that was probably
Yeah,
the best guest introduction we've had.
You're not going to get that level of voice the whole way through. Otherwise, I'd be wasted by the end of it. 3 minutes in, I'm like, oh!
It's the best first impression so far because we always like do this screaming intro and then the guest is like, "Hey guys."
And then it's like,
Why am I here?
gonna close me now? What's up?
What's going on?
Yeah, anyway, Sam, get with the energy. We're all into it, and you're all like,
I'm running out of things to say on it. Okay.
Alright.
he's running.
So
out of it.
I want to introduce it a little bit. Agro, for anyone who somehow doesn't know, like Sam, is from the Kritzkast, which is, as far as I know, the first Team Fortress 2 podcast, starting all the way back in like 1997, actually 2008. And
It's the second TFT podcast, but I'll let you off. It's fine. How would you know?
You would let you know off. He's letting you off.
You guys are only like 4 years old anyway, so I can't expect you to know. Yeah, no, it's fine.
I can drive a car and drink.
Wow,
No,
yeah,
you-
but you're Irish. You could drive a car and drink when you were 4. Doesn't mean you're any good at either one of them, but you're pretty much
I've been in the car
guaranteed to be taught those things by your parents.
Sam,
I've been done 2 seconds.
I've been
into the
carpooling
You're
with
probably
him.
watching an instructional video on drinking when you're in your mother's womb. You're working your way out there with your little fingers.
Getting destroyed.
Looking at a
we're 2
glimpse of the
seconds
TV
in.
screen.
calm down.
I've been in the car with him, bro. He drives a better sheep than he does a fucking car. I'll tell you that. Anyway, okay.
So I was gonna do this like thing. I was gonna say that Kritzkast were sort of like
One of the first.
One of very few in the early beginnings, the early days of podcasting back in
Early
your...
days of gaming.
But now we're here, the best podcast. So
Yeah,
we're
the
giving
podcast.
we're
Them's
giving
fighting words, son. Them's fighting words. Get your dukes out.
absolutely.
Come on,
Alright.
son. Come on.
So we wanted to get Agro on. It's been a thing I wanted to do ever since we started Swishcast.
We all tried to say no, but we couldn't. You do now.
Sam's first response was, "Who the fuck is Agro?"
I didn't say. I just
yes,
said
you
who's
did.
Agro.
Yes, you said. And then I was like, "He's from Kritzkast." And then Sam said, "What? What's that?" And I was
No,
like,
I know what Kritzkast is.
No,
I just
you
didn't
don't.
know- Yes, I did. I just didn't know who Agro was specifically, which I apologize, but I know now.
Oh, it's fine. It's perfectly okay. I mean, to be perfectly honest, like I'm sure the question is going to come up during the interview anyway. Like, Kritzkast is possibly not as well known as it once was, and I've genuinely never known how well received or well integrated into Team Fortress 2 Kritzkast is. So some people just hear the name and go, "Oh yes, that's the place with the Paris hat." Or they hear the name and go, I don't know what that is. What are you talking about? So being part of the latter group is not a problem for me.
So already we have in the chat, Pogi is asking, what is the Kritzkast? So Agro, why don't you give a
Give him
brief
the
little
rundown, go on.
description
Wow,
for,
okay.
for our little Gen Z audience?
Blimey, so very, very, very going all the way back. I've been doing loads of interviews recently, not necessarily related to gaming, but anyway, it's very difficult to know how far to go back. But let's go back to the origins of Kritzkast. It was part of a group called Clan Vengeance. We were having a bunch of meetings once a week or once a month, and we all decided that we're having so much fun, we should record this and put it out on the internet in the form of a podcast. So it started off as a podcast in around about sort of 2008. We stayed on the podcast track, went through a bunch of presenters, bunch of hosts for a while. Flicked things up around 2012, I want to say. Got a whole bunch of new cast in. Did a bunch of stuff on YouTube. Never really made it in any kind of medium as such. And then we managed to get just out of podcasting as the big money got just into it. So we managed to miss that entire thing. I don't have to worry about ever making any money. But around about that sort of time, we transitioned away from being like podcast to being competitive coverage. So now, along with some extraordinarily clever and capable people, well, really, that's all of them, and it's me just kind of in the background waving. But Kritzkast is now essentially about community outreach, promoting Team Fortress 2, and producing Highlander coverage in both England and Australia, or Europe
Banger.
and Australia.
Banger. And
In a nutshell, that is Kritzkast.
and that's like a step up. It's become more than just a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a step up. It's a step. It's an expansion. It's a step. It's a leap. I think if I was still doing the pod as it was when we first started off, number one, I'd be insane. And number two, like I really would question like what I was doing with my life. It's almost inevitable. The more time you spend doing a thing, the more things you want to do with it.
Yeah.
And so having like a competitive element of it, or a community element of it, or a charity element of it, all kind of makes sense.
Especially with this like 5-year gap of like big TF2 news, or like Kritzkast episode 9000. What do we talk about?
Yeah.
I mean, you
Nothing.
joked about it in the beginning, but like being on episode 97, I'm sure I haven't missed like 94 episodes of this. But like the last pod that we recorded, like actively recorded, I think the last one that exists in the world was 2018 maybe. So it's like 5 years ago, as you say. And during that period, there was a hiatus of content. And the pod becomes more and more about like what the community is doing and what like funny things we've seen on the workshop, versus or just one-to-one interviews with like people who create content themselves, or have an active role in, or previously have had an active role in TF2 or competitive or whatever. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to be like constantly positive and constantly on when Valve is feeding you constantly nothing. Like it is hard work making something out of nothing. But it's really hard work keeping that up on a weekly basis for ad infinitum.
I mean, do you miss it? Do you miss recording podcasts?
Yes and no. I get my fix of like being out there in the public by jumping on other people's Twitch channels and saying hi, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's the real Kritzkast!" And that's all the buzz I need, to be honest. I miss that kind of like explorative exposure into the TF2 community. I feel that I can now do that, but I'm still kind of like waving the Kritzkast flag whenever I do. But I do miss a certain degree, like the camaraderie you guys shared with me when I first joined in the pre-stream, kind of 30 seconds before everybody goes off and has their piss. Like that kind of like laughing and joking about whatever bullshit. That's been very difficult for me to find with any other group or with any other bunch of people. That kind of level of like just mindless fun was something that made Kritzkast what it was in our first like few episodes in our first few years. So yeah, that to a certain degree I miss it. but the actual recording, editing, producing, releasing of show notes, along with updates of websites, all of that stuff, not so much on the missing front. I mean, you guys had totally nailed it this way by just releasing, again, chatting before we went live. Like, I was asking you whether or not you had some sort of recording software that I should be using, and you're like, no, we just go live, and then it's out there. Like, you bastards! You absolute complete and utter bastards! That's nothing like what we went through. But admittedly, our content has like stood the test of time, and as much as if you go down to SoundCloud and look up Kritzkast, it's all there in relatively high quality content. Like, at least the audio is high quality. Can't really say much for the words that have been spoken.
It's sort of a balance. I mean, with the way we're doing it now, it's sort of like the next step in what you guys were doing. We don't really spend hours upon hours of preparing.
But yeah, at the same time,
Yeah.
at the same time, we don't spend hours preparing, but our podcast, it's fun at the moment, but odds are it's probably not going to have the staying power that the Kritzkast brand
Oh,
has had.
So what I'll say about our content, the things that people remember about our content is not necessarily the interviews that we made with people or the thorough interrogation of individual pieces of information. What people remember and what people like constantly refer back to is that random aside where for 35 minutes we talked about, I don't know, boobies getting lost on a beach somewhere. Like, that becomes the thing. And I think your show is, from what I've seen of it at least anyway, it is 90% bullshit that people actually enjoy, and about sort of 10% of actual real content. And the real content is more a sort of a bookmark. It's like it's a place that if you're going on a long walk and you can see somewhere in the distance there's a lighthouse, you'll vaguely head off in that direction, and eventually you'll reach it. But the reality is you're not there for the picture of you by the lighthouse. You're there for the booze you drink along the way and the ridiculous jokes and somebody falling over and breaking their nose on a molehill. It's that kind of bullshit. That's the thing. Those are the memories you remember. The lighthouse was almost incidental, non-incidental, irrelevant.
I think that's a really nice way of
That's a
putting
very
it.
good
Actually.
analogy. But we kind of like with our podcasts, we like to have a good discussion and get put things on the table. But we don't want to take ourselves hyper seriously or just commit to a serious, honest discussion. Well, I mean, it kind of depends who we have on as a guest. Like when we have Zesty on, it's he's very serious person. He loves talking about getting into the nitty gritty of the details of TF2.
You've had Zesty on.
We've had him on twice. He's mental on the podcast.
Whoa! I had no idea. Okay, sorry guys, I'm going to be off now. Thanks for the opportunity. That's fine.
What? All right, bye.
Equal opportunity, everyone. Let's carry on. Ignore that.
I jumped from my chair.
No, Indy was actually, I could tell you, shut himself. All right. Yeah.
What are we gonna do for the next hour and a half?
Yeah, we'll just sit here and ourselves. Oh, so what's happening?
Somebody trip over a molehill.
Yeah, but he's
Well,
very serious.
We were saying we have basically we try to have a topic, and then we usually try to have sort of a conclusion at the end of each topic, sort of put a ribbon on it anyways.
Yeah. So it's kind of we make sure we're actually talking about something interesting and things are being said.
Because there's other TF2 podcasts, which is just people screaming for 2 hours.
Don't worry about that.
All right, Indy. All right. pipe down.
Don't worry about that.
Do you know what? There actually has been a bunch of podcasts. Okay, can I reveal my 6-episode rule to you?
Right, go on.
All right, I'm sorry. Once again, I've completely derailed. I don't even know if there's anything you guys want to talk about. But I've got a 6-episode rule.
Go for it. Honestly,
everybody in the dog thinks that podcasting is dead easy, which it kind of is. I don't want to disabuse anyone of that notion that it is an easy thing to do. It is fucking easy to do. What is difficult to do is podcasts every X number of weeks, whether it's every 3 weeks or every 4 weeks, whatever, every week or every day, whatever your timing is. It's when you get to episode 5, your brain is still thinking, shit, we've got loads of content we could talk to and loads of people to talk to and loads of things we could shout about. And then episode 6 rolls along. And for whatever reason, nobody actually makes it through episode 6. So if you've got a pod and you've gone through episode 6 and you're out the other side, you're on episode 7, you're going to be here forever. You're going to be here. You're going to be pals. You're going to be like making content forever. But the vast majority of podcasts, particularly Team Fortress 2 podcast, but podcasts in general, don't make it past 6 episodes.
It's a very specific number.
It is, but I mean, it's a somewhat arbitrary number. I have kind of like pulled that out of my ass. But if you think about it in terms of if you try and do a weekly podcast, that's a month and a half. And if you really weren't in it or didn't recognize how much work it was going to be, then a month and a half of committing like every Saturday, you're going to be rocking up in the same place. Nobody is allowed to have a Saturday off or a Friday off or whatever. Everybody's got to be here. Everybody's got to commit to this time in their diary, regardless of what their real life is doing. They've got to be here. They've got to commit to this time, and make it work. And about a month and a half of that much effort in, somebody is out. Somebody's picking up their whatever from the airport, or they've been roped into doing a shopping trip or going to the zoo, or their leg has fallen off, or the computer's in the bin, whatever the reason is. But for whatever reason, the pod slips that 1 week, and then trying to get it back online, trying to get everybody back together again the following week, it just never happens. It never happens. So either a month and a half, or if you're doing it every month, that's half a year later. And half a year, again, it's a wealth of time to try and figure out, like, getting something up and going and then staying with it.
It's kind of
I don't
like,
know, 6 episodes is right.
see with us, we what was it? Sam wasn't even originally our third guest. It was originally me, Indy, and Steinfall, but because he was like so busy with his like other channel, and he basically kind of wasn't really doing TF2 anymore, we had to we basically did a little switcheroo.
It was 5 episodes. Now
it was the best switcheroo you've ever did in your whole life.
Calm down.
It's a weird thing to say. I've kind of ended up collecting like voices, but if you have an Irishman on staff, it is just the best thing. Like, like having a resident Irishman. There's that lilt to the voice. There's the implication that he's going to be drunk half the time anyway. So even if he is, you kind of like, well, he was expected to be drunk. So we've won. And if he's not, you're just thinking, when's he going to start drinking? So there's that. But at the same time, it's just like it's a real kind of. It starts making it feel a bit more sort of club roomy type thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
right.
Exactly, Sam. We love having you here.
I'm putting my stance in. Agro's my favorite guest so far.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Sam.
Agro's my favorite guest so far.
We love having you.
I won one of you over. Excellent. Job done.
We love having you come in pissed every cast, Sam. We just fucking love it. We just love laughing at you.
The funny thing is, I have done 1 or 2 very slightly drunk.
No, you've not. If you were drunk, I would have kicked you. I'd be like, get out.
We keep saying that we need to do like a drunk episode where we all get drunk.
That doesn't need to happen.
We haven't arranged it yet.
So
anyway,
if I'm like off of it, I would be the one keeping it in check. That would be chaos.
No, you should do like,
anyway, we have
actual
topics we need to talk about.
Oh yeah, well, I turned the first topic. It's just Kritzkast.
Well, yeah, oh yeah, true. Okay.
I was gonna just touch on with the what did you call it? 6-episode rule. We had this 5-episode thing with Steinfeld, like Party said, and we did it like a traditional podcast. You know, everybody records their track, we send it, we cut it down, whatever.
We used to edit our podcast.
We used to edit, and it just happened. Like, it's just after a while, it's like we don't want to do this.
Yeah. It's just so much effort. You know what I mean?
It's like, it takes the fun out of it. And then when we started streaming it, it immediately, like every week, okay, this is embarrassing to admit, but we get all of our topics and sometimes even the guests just like a day before. Like that's just like, it's not like a huge like hamper on our like personal lives or anything. It's just every Friday we all come here, we talk, we have fun, and yeah.
Sure. I mean, when I was doing it, I would spend all week just picking away at like stuff that was going on in TF2 and just adding them into the show notes so that we had something to talk about that week. I really do approve of like not sharing your show notes with your guests. We've had occasions where people who have either been nervous or just nervous of talking in a crowd or nervous of talking on a pod, or else they didn't really have that much to talk about. and they would see the show notes, and just in the opening line, like the introduction of them, they would run through the show notes as if it's their own content, and destroy all of your content for the next hour. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you're doing it the right way in order to ensure that you keep doing it. So congratulations with that. You've learned so much in such a short period of time.
Woohoo! Wow, how I kind of saw the podcast going, like a few episodes in, I was like, right, we can't. The thing is, right, how I wanted it to be is that we kind of like do all the effort, like in like just like sorting out the preset, making all the animations for people, you know, like doing all the effort at the start. So then when we go to record each episode in the future, it's just, you know, we make a thumbnail, do the topics, get the guests, boom, 3 steps, and we're in. You know what I mean? So it's just trying to minimize, kind of like min-maxing our time, and like so for each guest they have to come on with like the least amount of effort, which kind of makes them more likely to want to come back on. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. The thing that takes the most amount of time is these animations. We have the 3 that are always made it.
They're absolutely fucking gorgeous.
It's kind of me and Indy. We split it.
It's me and Party. Yeah. I made that one for the Balloonicorn. I made it like 2 hours ago. I'm just gonna be completely honest.
Yeah, I did. I think I did. Me and Sam, and I think I did Indy as well. I think I did the lighting.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of split that. We split a lot of the. Me and Indy split a lot of the effort. Sam doesn't do anything. He just drinks.
Sam doesn't. He
never asked me to do anything.
Because you never do anything.
You never ask.
I assume you know, because given that the high quality of the Balloonicorn animation, that you grabbed that from the workspace, also from the workshop.
Yeah. I just looked up. It took me 5 attempts to look up Balloonicorn because I just couldn't spell it right.
Right. So I think if you grabbed the right one, you grabbed it from Pybun's workshop. We wanted to engage her in getting an animation made, and there wasn't an SFM like character for the Balloonicorn, so we asked her to create that for us. So that she could then do animations of swipes between screens. So the fact that you have a Balloonicorn to animate is a result of our us asking someone else to do a thing. Yeah, it's very difficult to try and claim ownership of anything in Team Fortress 2, because invariably it's not you that did it. It's someone that you paid to do a thing. Or
the model is really well done. It's called
cartoony
Balloonicorn, I think.
Yeah, it's exceedingly well done. I think the one that existed before it was almost like a static image, or just like a block. But this one is properly rigged. It looks really nice.
I like the custom eyes as well. Very good.
Yeah,
that was the one thing I noticed. Oh, is the loop messing up for it?
No,
it's fine.
It messed up for on my
no,
screen.
I think I slowed it down a bit. Anyway, no, awesome, very well done, model.
We got in the chat, Incognito Cow. Real Kritzkast in chat? But seriously, what happened to you guys? You used to be gaming. No, they didn't say that. You used to be the best, but I don't see much of y'all anymore. That's what he's saying. That's the sentiment I usually hear from people.
Like, I've got some statistics that say that at one point in our time, the podcast was being downloaded like 750,000 times, which is a big number. But it's not a good number. It's just a number that exists in my stats, and I couldn't prove it at the time. And I certainly I couldn't imagine it ever happening again. But I just don't know whether we actually were all that big, or if my stats were just shit. But I'd like to imagine that we once had a following in terms of podcast. Maybe there'll be a Kritzkast pod in the future, but even if it is, like, building it back up to what it was in the past is going to be a big shout. Like, it's going to be hard work, and unless there's some like actual payoff for it, I'm not sure it's worthwhile doing.
Don't worry, Kritzkast 2, it's us.
Kritzkast 2. Now, from what I've seen in the community...
When you start spelling Kritzkast or Swishcast with a K, I'll start getting worried then.
From what I've seen in like game though, and like from people I've talked to, I think it was pretty big. I think most people, like, I'd say at least 40-50% of like TF2, like actual TF2 players, not just like random Joe Schmoes in game, but like TF people who have like at least have like 500, like 1,000 hours, do not know what it is. So I think I think you're definitely in like the ballpark of at least like 60,000.
Yeah, that doesn't the download number doesn't seem too far fetched when you consider like actually even correct me if I'm wrong, but even like this wasn't for your podcast, this is for your like competitive casting, but Valve sometimes sends out alerts on the game when users are
when you
live.
guys do stuff.
So I it's not for me anyway. I like obviously you would have more insight in it, but for me it doesn't seem like it's out of the realm of possibility for that many downloads.
So things like I'm not even certain like how much they would want us to share about that, but I'll give you a bit of an insight on that. Things like blog posts for events are invariably written by the community that's putting on the event. So if they're for example in game there's a message saying, hey, Kritzkast is going live, blah blah blah. That's either a message that's been written by the community and they've agreed to post it, or they've written the message but only on the back of a email that you sent to them saying, hey, we're doing a thing, would you mind like broadcasting this out? A lot of the blog posts as well that you see on the blog are actually written by the community members themselves. So it's nice that they respond to our request to have like that kind of mention. It's not so much that they are like constantly feeling out there, looking, seeing what's going on, and reacting or pre-acting or whatever. Most of it is just reactive.
It's just like Kritzkast has this sort of staying power that's like above the podcast because of that. I mean, there's the hat, but like anytime you open tf2.com or teamfortress.com, you see that logo somewhere. Like if you just look.
So like we've I've got myself into a position where I have a tendency towards getting involved in stuff. Who was I talking to? I might have been you, Andy, talking about this at I do recall having a conversation along the lines of, regardless of what happens in the world of Team Fortress 2, I'm like brought in as a consultant, or someone like says, oh, Agro knows someone who knows how to get that done. Someone ask Agro to be there, and so I get like the name Kritzkast just gets involved in shit. And to that degree, like we find ourselves involved in a bunch of stuff. And because there are so many of us involved, and there's so many things that we do, there's always a possibility that at some stage, if something's going to be broadcast anywhere, particularly competitive, partially if it's going to be something related to charity events, at some stage someone will involve a member of Kritzkast, and as such, like part of our policy for being involved is just to make sure that Kritzkast is mentioned, so we stay relevant regardless of what it is we're doing, regardless of how much involvement we have. But most of the time it's like I find it very difficult to take credit for anything, because most of the time it's not me. Like most of the time it's other people doing things, and our name is just vaguely associated with it.
When I was like young with TF2, I always just kind of like when I was 14, like I kind of just assumed that
Last year. Last year, then.
Yeah, last year. So yeah, about a year ago when I was in year 9, I assumed I was looking.
So you were saying words.
Right. So I always just assumed. I always just assumed
2020. What happened?
I was at home with the pandemic.
Okay,
I realized.
All right, let's kill that.
I was doing my GCSEs right, and I realized I thought I always thought that the Kritzkast was kind of like the official TF2 podcast, because it was always posted on like the website and like blog posts and stuff. So
we always
I thought it was official for the longest time too.
One of our taglines is we're the official unofficial Team Fortress 2 podcast, which means nothing, or the unofficial official Team Fortress 2 podcast, which equally means nothing. It was deliberately put there. One of those amazing marketing moves that essentially says, TF2 podcast? and that's it. The word is official somewhere in there, and that effectively makes it official. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. But yeah, I think we enjoyed that position for a while until the next best one came along.
I wanna say something before we get too far away from it. Agro, you got me in trouble at work about 5 years ago.
Excellent.
Because I downloaded. I remember I had I was very new to smartphones, and I downloaded like SoundCloud to MP3 on my phone. I downloaded the Lazy Purple interview, and it was with you and Lazy Purple, unless I'm mistaken. It was a long time ago now, and I downloaded that, and I brought my like wired earbuds, and I went into work, and there was this whole rule, like you can't listen to music while you're working, you can't be on your phone, etc., etc. But I knew that day in the warehouse there would be no one there, so I was like, I'll listen to the Lazy Purple interview. I love me some Lazy Purple while I stack boxes and like put on like stickers on shit. And I was doing that. I was up in like warehouse land, and I was listening to it, and then suddenly I feel like a tap on my shoulder, and I just jolt, and then my earbuds come flying out, and then at full volume it felt like I had my speaker on. Your voice was just emanating from my
Oh man, I really hope I was swearing at the time, because that would be absolutely fucking perfect.
I don't remember what you were saying.
Indies in Bosnia, so wouldn't
yeah.
matter
So
if you were swearing.
they didn't understand what you were saying, but it was your voice just blaring from my earbuds while my boss was just deadpan looking at me.
That just seems like a skill issue on your
I was
part.
going to say, I'm not entirely certain how I'm responsible for this, but
that's
yeah,
your
carry
fault.
on. I'm glad I affected your life negatively.
Negative.
From that point on, I never listened to Swish.
Yeah, I was barred from listening to anything.
From this point on, I have sworn revenge against the Kritzkast. This is the day we enact it.
I've been creating a podcast just to lull you into a false sense of security.
Do you know what? I was just thinking that. I mean, this whole time I've been thinking, oh, this is getting awfully well. I'm getting awfully pally. What are they going to do to me? Yeah, carry on. Oh, shit. Oh.
Just wanted to tell that story.
I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing.
So, yeah, what were you going to say, Party? Sorry.
There's just a little thing, but I think that's a bit ridiculous that they don't let you listen to music when you stack boxes. I feel like that violates some like worker rights.
It really doesn't, Party.
It really does.
If
If they wouldn't let me listen to music when I was working at the hotel, I would not be happy. I'm just saying that.
I know, we're getting off topic here, but Party, you're working at a hotel. You're working by yourself. Nobody's looking at you, and you're not gonna have like heavy boxes falling on top of you.
You're stacking boxes. You're not like waitering, or are you?
If I go into work, I'm still at the same job, and if I went there with headphones now, I'd get like run over with a forklift. So rather not.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, okay. I guess that kind of makes sense.
You wouldn't get run over, much like you stabbed by one of the fucking pincers, like just fucking right through the heart.
All right, so I was a bit off topic.
It's fine. So this is our first sort of topic, or what are you calling them? Spark notes, some like antiquated thing, like ancient Sumerian. What were you calling them?
He's calling them what was it, like notes?
No,
Host
What
notes.
was he calling them? I don't know, some like from ancient Egypt. So basically, next topic is the TF2 community then versus now. So, since we're all 12 years old, we don't really know how it was back then. I started playing in 2013, but I don't have many. My memories comprise mostly of Muselk, Tryhard Monday, Tryhard Tuesday, whatever it was.
And I'm a little fucking baby because not only am I the youngest here, I started playing in 2016. I only fully got into it in about 2018. So
can't believe this. You're so young. You're so young.
One of the cosplayers that kind of recently started hanging out with, they posted a tweet recently about like the mercenary badge and how cool it was to have like that ancient badge that shows you've been playing since like 2010 or something. And here's me with my Primeval badge, where I played before the game was even like in live. 2000, I think it's September 2007 when I started playing.
It's
Oh
like the
my
black
God.
black badge, right? It's like black color.
No, it's like
Yeah, it's like black with silver bits on it. Yeah, it's pretty stuck.
I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever seen. Not
I've
like
seen
I've
it.
seen it in, but
Yeah.
I've never seen that in
Because you don't
game.
play, Sam. You played like last year.
I literally played today. No, I don't even think I've seen a goal. I don't
CF2.
I
Yeah,
don't
like
think-
okay, so we've just had a major update, which is okay. It's not even a major update. We've had an update, which is in itself major, because it's been a long time since we've had a content update that wasn't related to Smithsmas or Halloween, and that's introduced new maps and skins. I would say skins, certainly new
Moments.
maps and like taunts, war paints. Like, there's been some really cool shit in there. Potentially Saxon Hell, but let's not talk about that. Yeah, and that sort of like level of update, back in the day, that would have been a small update.
Footnote.
But even, yeah, a footnote. But even then, it would still be accompanied with a great big blog post with a beautiful SFM creation. It'd be a standalone web page.
Yeah.
There'll be some sort of community involvement and opportunities for people to send in artwork or photos or whatever, dick pics. There'll be an opportunity for like there'll be a comic about it, or somebody would write a song, or like there would just be so much more than stuff for the game. And yet this for Team Fortress 2 today is like, or yesterday or the day before, whenever it dropped, that's the biggest thing that we've seen in many years, and it's had a reaction within the community. Like 250,000 people are playing it at the moment. Like, it's big, it's had a massive effect. But back in the day, as I said, that was kind of, it was dealt with differently. It was put out into the world differently. But even then, like, there was like 50,000 people playing TF2, and that was a big number. So it's a very different landscape that we're in at the moment with regards to like updates, and within like with regards to like player bases and expectations and all that kind of stuff. But certainly back then there was a greater feeling of like the camaraderie of friends, the small number of people who played computer games all stuck together. They all played Team Fortress 2.
Definitely, we learned to appreciate it now, because I remember Tough Break came out, or Gunmetal. I think the Gunmetal did, and it came with contracts. And I was a free to play at the time. I was like, contracts, gotta pay for them. Don't care. And I just never touched that thing. And it's just like, but nowadays, if like a new contracts came out, like I like my jaw would be on the floor. It's
Sell
like,
your left nut to get it.
yeah, literally. Like, I saw those, like I don't know if you guys see it on the workshop. There was that like custom contractor thing that was being hyped up.
Yeah, it's a shame that didn't get in.
Yeah, I held out till the last second, but when I saw that they didn't even bother to make like an update page for the update, I was like,
They didn't even make a bloody didn't make a bloody tweet about it. Nothing exists for this update apart from the notes. Not even a blog post.
oh, to be fair, if you hit the little letter in the title screen, there's just that little meet your match thing there. That's
what?
What are you talking about?
if you know that, like in the top right corner of the screen when you're on the main menu, there's that little like news tab.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There's a little itsy bitsy page there, so we're eating good.
We're eating good. I can't believe that's all it takes to hit a new peak of fucking players. That's all it took.
It's peak.
Wow.
Just all it
How
took.
low have we sunk?
I know, we're just desperate. We're just so desperate. But like, TF2 community is dedicated. Like, I feel like if that happened for like, let's say CS:GO, everyone would just jump to Valorant by now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if this size of update dropped on CS:GO or Dota or Valorant or Apex or anything else, or Fortnite, then people would have been like throwing their toys out the pram. They'd have said, this company doesn't love us anymore. Let's piss off and play some other game.
Exactly.
But I think TF2 players have been treated like the ugly kid at school for so long that any measure of attention or love shown in our vague direction just makes us fall over and gasp and grab our cheeks and go, "My God, they really love us." We're just such fucking beaters. It's ridiculous.
They fucked up the Saxon Hale game mode, and I'm not even upset. I'm just waiting.
I,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not upset.
I
'Cause
am
I don't like
upset.
Saxon Hale. Yeah,
Um,
hot take. I don't like Saxon Hale. I'm really glad they fucked it up.
Oh,
As in,
yeah.
like,
No, I
versus-
agree. I hate Saxon Hill. That game mode stinks.
Nah, man, it's fun. It's fun. You're just bad
No,
at
well,
it,
no,
Party.
I had the okay. Fair enough. They haven't. I haven't played this new variant, but going from experience, the old community servers they were so trash. I'm just saying, you would like join, you'd wait 9 hours to play Saxon Hale. You'd be like, oh
Yep.
yes, time to have fun, time to play the game, and then 9 engineers surround you with sentries and you can't do anything. It's just
Yeah, I think I'm nearly certain in this new one they have a move that stuns sentries a
they
lot
better do.
easier.
I'm hoping they fixed it, but because I haven't actually played it, I got on one game and it crashed immediately. But if they,
Yeah, no,
but if going by what I have played with Saxon in the past, I'm a bit iffy. I'm a bit worried.
it's not looking good.
It's not looking
See,
good.
I
No.
actually like Saxton Hale because I'm a big weirdo. So
Because you're like 12.
I was really looking forward to it, and I tried to get into so many games, and just nothing. And I woke up early this morning. I looked at my phone and I have updates. This sounds really weird. I have a thing that sends me notifications when TF2 gets an update. I looked at the blog post and it was like added back Saxton Hale, and I was like, yes, all right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna play that. I walked to my computer. Saxon Hale was not on the game. I checked the TF2 blog post. By the time I checked my computer, they'd removed it. It was horrendous.
Wah, wah.
It's like worst horror movie ever. No, I mean my thing with Saxon Hale is that you actually as you described, you find yourself like waiting for a long time to play the main character, which is Saxon Hale, and then you get your game fucked up by other people who know how to play it better.
Exactly.
But even if you're not playing Saxon Hale, like my thing with TF2, the thing that I love about TF2, the thing that I love about TF2 over and above things like Counter Strike, is that when you die, you wait a few moments and then you respawn. With Saxon Hale, when you die, if you die early, you're dead. You don't get to enjoy the game of Saxon Hale until everybody else is dead, and then you can start playing again. And that's not what I want to do with my time. I
That's
want
why
to play.
arena mode
Play.
is like super dead. It's like you
No
die
no
and
one
you
likes
just wait.
arena mode.
There was a competitive version of arena mode, which accidentally broke arena mode, so that people would respawn, but they'd respawn like they could only respawn if someone else on their team was already alive. I don't know what the logic was, but essentially it meant that you had to kill everybody at the same time in order to win. And that version of arena mode, even though it was people playing with a broken version, that version was super fun. But every other version was a bit shit.
I think the best way to play arena mode, from what I've experienced, is if you've got
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 boys on each team, because basically at that point the games last about like 5 minutes max, and if you die, it's like not too long until you're back in again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it's 12v12, it will go on for ages. You'll die right at the start to like some sniper or like just something,
Yep.
some rubbish like
If you
that.
if you die first in 12v12 arena, I might as well go clock into your 9 to 5.
Exactly, it's just-
So by the time you come back.
Yeah, there'll be about 2 players left in the game, so
Yeah, and I'll be like just running around like being all pussy, just can't just like like just like going back and forward, trying to like shoot, hitting like fat freeze from across the map, just like
They could announce versus Saxon Hale when you get first shots, and then by the time you get back into the game, they'd have taken it off again.
Exactly.
true.
It's just like I don't know. I'm optimistic though. They might have actually fixed it, because this is like a new version. It's not like the old one apparently. They've like there's a lot of balance changes I've heard, but I haven't seen much of it. So
We'll have to see. I mean, it's one of those things. Like like the expectation of the community is that versus Saxon Hale, it was so beloved that it's going to drive both an audience that would otherwise only seek that kind of satisfaction from community servers. It will drive them towards Valve servers. It will drive them towards official servers. But also that in that mad rush and surge to be part of something new, it will pick up a bunch of like new players along the way. And I think that's kind of what we saw in the first, like the opening salvo of Team Fortress 2's big update, is a whole bunch of people who had previously given up on Team Fortress 2 came back to sample to suck on the teat of the new milk that's being offered.
With the community, since we're on that, I'm seeing like basically a 50-50 split of people just popping off about the update. It's perfect. It's everything we wanted. It's here. And the other 50% is like, this is complete and utter crap. Valve is fucked up. It's over. This game is dead. There is no hope.
It's just like at this point we're at. I was talking about this with like Azel and everyone yesterday of Hyro, who you don't know. He's very strong negative opinions.
I might know him.
You might know him.
I don't.
You don't know him. Okay. If you did know him, you'd understand. All right?
No, I was going to say I might know
If
him.
you
I'm really bad with names. I genuinely don't remember people.
I'll just say, if you did know him, you'd wish you didn't.
Oh, blimey! All right, fair play.
Okay.
I might know him then. Yeah, go on.
Anyway, so we're talking about, and I was kind of saying, like, with TF2, we've kind of had the 5 stages of grief. You know, we were all bargaining with Valve to do something. We were all angry. We all got depressed. Said TF2 was dead, and now I think now we just kind of need to accept that this is probably what TF2 is going to be for the future. You know, just like
Chat's talking about like star playing yesterday, and that is actually genuinely huge.
That is good. That is huge.
That like these massive streamers, and it's one of the many benefits of Team Fortress 2, and one of the reasons I think it continues to exist now is that it's one of the best games in the world to come back to.
Yeah, definitely.
And it is a come back to game, so people will find their fame and their fortune within the realms of Team Fortress 2, but hit that barrier when they can grow no more and they can get no more from the game, and unless you're Banny, in which case all bets are off. But unless you're Banny, you will at some stage in your life seek the satisfaction of playing other games, and then maybe your growth will or your audience or whatever will expand massively. At some point, you will come back to Team Fortress 2 and you'll bring that massive audience back with you. And that's what I think happened with Star yesterday when he rocked up and he was playing TF2. And it's clear that he was still like good at Team Fortress 2. His movements was amazing across the map and his rocket jumping, all that kind of shit. He was a great person to watch stream and to play Team Fortress 2. And no disrespect to anyone else who streams TF2, he was a streamer playing Team Fortress 2 as opposed to TF2 streamer playing TF2. So yeah, I'm always happy when big streamers come back and bring their audiences with them.
I think with like TF2 as well, it's like see with like when if you just play TF2 all the time, it in a way it kind of makes it harder to appreciate it because you have to kind of go back. And if you've played Overwatch, if you've played Paladins, if you've played all these other team-based shooters, and you come back to TF2, you understand what you're missing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I love the fact that I'm not even certain like it's even on your docket to talk about the update, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. That Phoenix map, the one that's basically the Overwatch map, I fucking love that. I love that that's in the fucking game right now. I love that we've got at least one map that is 100% like a piss take of an existing other game map. That is genius, and I'm
the thing is, it's fun. It's good on 2 levels. It's good in the way that you were saying, it's literally like an Overwatch map, but it's also an actually good map, and it looks really fucking nice. I tell you.
Have you seen Solar Light's take on it? He's like, he looked out the window and he saw this massive ramp, and the ramp is like 400 feet high, and he's like, "Fuck yeah, it's the world's biggest ramp. You know, watch me shrimp." Yeah, that is a good map.
Then one pyro comes out of spawn and fun is over.
Switching off demo night.
Yeah.
Definitely with TF2, there's this saying in the community, you never quit TF2, you just take a break. You definitely come back to it one way or another. And with this update, people came back in droves, definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Not everyone can be like Habist every day. Like, sometimes you just got to play other games. But there's a lot of, I think the younger bit of the community, like post Jungle Inferno, like doesn't understand that, like, you don't, this isn't the only game you play. Like with games like Fortnite, you can, you can
Indy,
play
get
that
off your high horse. Okay.
Yeah, Sam. A thing you don't understand, Sam, because you're stupid. Is that like games like Fortnite nowadays, like live service, you can play Fortnite forever. There will always be something new.
TF2 is the new Fortnite.
Yes.
What are you? What are you?
Doesn't make any sense.
What are you saying?
It doesn't have anything to do with anything.
I don't know. I'm just talking about Fortnite.
I was trying to make a point. Where, like,
Oh, here's an
with other
idea.
games,
TF2
like-
dailies, TF2.
yes, daily quests time.
Daily quests. Do 10 emotes upwards. Fucking get battle stars unskinned.
On 10 times at upward last. But what I was trying to say with games nowadays, the expectation is that you play them forever, and that's the only game you play. But TF2 is definitely like, distance makes the heart grow fonder. It's a game that you play for a while, then you leave, and then you come back. Fortnite dailies.
Genuinely be disaster. I'm sorry.
Actually, I wanna touch on something you were saying. It's making people come back in droves. Old, and it's bringing in new players as well.
Yeah,
You
like
can
you.
definitely feel it in the servers. You have either.
So many
I don't mean.
pyros.
I don't mean to. I'm not dissing people that are bad at the game because I'm not like the greatest
You
TF2
suck.
player ever, and we were all bad at some point. But God, you can feel it at the moment. There's just pyros doing.
I'm not. But
go on.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you.
Hmm?
And that's where I felt like it was necessary for me to intervene and stop you where you're saying. I think they've done something with, like, in the background. I think they've tweaked something because I find myself now in a lot of games with a lot of very competent players. And maybe it's because I've got like a ridiculously huge number of hours in. Like, I'll play a lot of Team Fortress 2 throughout my week.
Right. So that's why Sam's getting put in like the shit bracket.
You're so funny.
Sam, I do want to just say to you that, like,
Yep.
you were saying that, like, oh yeah, I'm only getting put with really shit players, but every single game I've played with you so far, you've been screaming and raging at like the other team and losing every game.
Listen.
I think they're isolating the assholes and sticking them all together. That's what it is. If you're an arsehole,
listen,
you'll be put with other assholes, and that's all you'll ever experience. But if you're good, like the rest of us, then you'll experience the great side of Team Fortress 2.
All right,
Yeah,
Agro is no longer my favorite guest we've had on. But I literally just mean like in the past 2 days, like that's like it just I feel like I'm noticing the new players, and I mean, like,
That's a good thing though. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. I love the fact that, like, okay, there's two things out of that. One is you get to pub stomp, which is always a good feeling.
Yes.
Like, regardless of how much you hate those people like tryharding, pub stomping feels good. But on the other hand, you've got like new players, and new players are only going to be new for the first few times they play, and they're going to ask stupid questions. They're going to get in the way, and they're going to steal the bloody med pack like they're all scouts or something. But essentially, after a few times of playing, they get better. It's not like MVM where new players screw up your enjoyment of playing MVM. New players playing like Tufort or playing Badlands or playing whatever the seal map is called, Selbin or something. Like, it's just a bit of fun, and then eventually 2 or 3 maps later, they'll figure out like how to play a bit on that character, and they'll get better, and you start enjoying playing with them.
No, I agree with you there. Like, when the players are on the enemy team, like, it's, as much as we don't want to admit it, people, you like to win in TF2. You like pub stomping is fun, but just when, and I do agree. Like, I'm not.
It's when
I don't want to get
mad
mad at these. Yeah, I don't want to get mad at these people, but when your medic doesn't heal you for the 50th time and it's like shooting people with their syringe gun.
I don't think that's an exclusive thing with this update, though. I feel like that happens.
No, but I'm just saying that I'm noticing that just a lot more just in the past, like, 2 days since this update.
If you want to, okay, it's a tip for you. If you want to hack, like literally mind hack the new guys coming in, play the class that you want them to play, and then get to the top of the leaderboard. Because when people first join Team Fortress 2, they don't know what class to play. They'll look at the leaderboard. They figured out the leaderboard. I don't know. I assume they do. But they'll look at the leaderboard and see like who's winning, and they'll assume in order to get to the top, they need to play that class. They don't know which class is better or worse. They just know which class is the top of the leaderboard. So if you want to see a bunch of medics, play medic, play really well, get to the top of the leaderboard, and maybe not that round, but maybe the next round, everybody will go medic.
Gunspy Dream.
Let's all,
Yeah,
let's all,
don't go spy, don't go sniper.
let's all
You
manipulate
assholes, I hate
everyone
you
to be
all.
Gunspy instead.
Everyone's gonna be Gunspy.
Ruin
No,
TF2 for everyone.
Every little
wanna-
bastard out
wanna-
there is going to be Gunspy. Go on.
I want to say completely seriously. I have seen an influx of new players due to one reason that I've cracked the code while talking to you right
Oh, yeah.
now. You know how when you first download TF2 now, you have the free contracts for Pyro from Jungle Inferno, and I've been noticing like 5 Pyros on each team every single game I play. Like today and yesterday, it was just 5 Pyros on each team, just LW and oneing, and it just clicked with me now. It's
That's
because of
why.
like the contracts.
Well, so,
Yeah,
this is my thing. This is why I think that 2.4 is so popular. It's because it's the top, like all of the servers within their like server list. They have a default run through of which map they're going to play first, etc. And that list is listed in alphabetical order. So 2.4 being the first map with a number that is a really low number. I can't actually think of any others. 2.4 is always the first map. So every time a server boots. Every time it boots from scratch or reboots or crashes and restarts, it restarts into that map. So most people's first chance to play Team Fortress 2 is playing on that bloody server. So that's what they think is the only server that's available. Little do they know that there are millions. Literally every other map is better than 2.4's.
It's true. It's very true. It's like
the
their
Junction,
birthplace. It's like,
Junction, but
oh yeah,
Junction.
if you don't forget about Junction.
Sleep.
I was going to say I'm trying to get like your podcast cancelled before it has a chance to go any further. Yeah.
Is that it? Is that it? You
Wipe
got to
out the
nullify
competition from the
the
inside.
competition. Yeah, all right. Okay.
Disrespecting versus Saxon Hale and 2.4. I mean, all I need to do is go after
I don't
Turbine
like.
now.
The thing is, though, I don't like either.
Demonites.
So you don't have to do the.
You can go. Wait, you can go after Turbine. That's not a controversial opinion.
Yeah.
I,
It is. I know a
will
lot of
let
people
you
that only
know.
ever play Turbine.
I will let you know that I have a
Depressed.
Turbine stamp I bought by accident,
You've
and
been
I'm
scammed.
standing by that shit
It's like a tattoo or something. It's on your ass.
forever.
You can't
Just
wipe
put
that.
Turbine forever on
You
your ass.
can't wipe that shit off, man. You just look like an idiot for the rest of your life.
You're getting busy. She takes off her shirt, has a Turbine stamp.
Bye-bye,
tattooed
I'm
on
out.
her.
Puts the shirt back on and then leaves. Yeah.
Put that back on now.
I'll get myself a cab.
Oh, all right. I think now would be a good time to segue into our next topic, which isn't actually
Wow.
much different from this topic.
The TF2 update. It's here.
Yes!
I swear, did we not just talk about
I was going to
this?
say, like, surely this is the last topic. Here's me doing natural segues without using the word segue or even like the word topic. And then
Yeah,
you
we're being
destroying it
too-
and rewriting. Go
See,
on, go on. No. Yes.
but we don't have like 10 years of
The
experience.
instinct. Yeah, go on. No, I want to hear this. Please do talk about it.
No, I'm just saying we don't have like 5 years of experience. Okay,
No,
like
no,
I'm
no.
only a
I'm over
4-year
here
old,
with
but
my
as
Go
you
on.
said yourself, I'm only like 4 years old. Like we don't know how to run a podcast. We have to do these.
Not all of us have been podcasting since the 70s. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh, shit, son. The weird thing is, I was born in the 70s.
What?
Yeah.
That don't seem real.
It ain't real.
You say it ain't real, bro. Did you
Something's
make
very
TF2
broken here.
yourself?
Came out of
No,
the-
but I am almost within months the same age as Robin Walker. I discovered this the other day. It blew my mind. It also made me cry a little bit. Yeah, thank you.
You
Natural
fucking
bone
did
is
that.
appropriate
Who
response.
did that?
Party,
nailed it.
you're a dickhead.
Party, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
You're
Robin
a
Walker's
dickhead.
like had such success in his life, and I've just been pissing around playing computer games.
Oh,
No, you've made it. You've made it.
You
You're
made
on
it,
Switch.
mate.
Made it
Come on, man.
in
You're on
Europe.
Swishcast.
You're an essential part of TF2. Anyway, what topic? What? Hey,
okay, I want to go in more detail. I think what we should do for this section is we should go through each map and give our opinion. Do you think that's fair?
That seems like it would be boring.
Boring? What do you think, Indy?
Okay,
I think.
What? Can I propose a thing?
Yeah, propose.
I.
Right. Rather than going through each map, you should ask what your favorite map is.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay,
All
Indy,
right.
what's your favorite map?
Who?
Indy.
Go on,
Uh,
Andy. What's your favorite map?
A Junction by
Felicia.
Sean Heyo Coutinho. You know it, baby.
We're not. No,
it-
Go with the
shut
update,
up.
you dick.
Can we ban him? Can we ban him from our own podcast?
You're a fucking
Wow.
gimp, man. Can we ban Indy? Can we get a new guest?
Can we get a new replacement?
I saying end the podcast. Nice.
Mid episode.
Okay, I want to say seriously. I want to be serious here. I'm a serious person,
Yeah.
serious guy. The one with the seal. That was
Selbin.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
good. I love that map.
See, I really love the aesthetic of Selbian, but because like I live very close to the sea, so it's kind of very nostalgic for me. But when I play, I think it was good.
Reminds you of the last time you went outside.
Yeah, you
You got him.
I'm
It's
not.
the last open space he was allowed out in.
I was gonna start
Only
making
interactive
fun of.
fields. Yeah, go on.
I was gonna start making fun of Bosnia, but Indy gets offended if I do that.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
I don't know anything about.
No, because I can't
Bosnia's
think of anything.
beautiful. Yeah, how you can't possibly make fun of it? It's an amazing place.
Absolutely.
Name
See,
one
you-
place in Bosnia. Name one town in Bosnia.
See, Agro, this is why you're the
Bosnia
best.
land. Bosniaville.
Bosnia land.
Bosniaville.
Bosnia world.
The worst addition to Disneyland. Bosnia world.
Bosnia land.
You're just like a shithole.
Just an empty.
Just discount Disney.
Um,
It's just like an
in
empty
Walmart,
warehouse.
Anyway, if I'm go, I want to say that my favorite one that I've played so far is it's either I think it's Rotunda,
The train one.
but yeah, the train one, or Phoenix. I haven't played on Phoenix enough, but it seems like it might be. The last point is a bit of a pain in the hole, but but for now it's Rotunda. That's my answer.
Yeah, I like with Rotunda. Is it Rotunda or Rotunda? I'm pretty sure that
Rotunda,
just means like fat. But anyway, I think it's made by UAK Crash, who is synonymous with
Oh yeah.
insane maps, including of which is Trainsaw Laser. So I think he's basically like by introducing trains and that as being a thing. He's kind of eventually going to introduce like a laser map and then a saw map, and then eventually they'll have to let in Trainsaw Laser, and that'll become like Trainsaw Laser is going to be the new versus Saxon Hail, in that it'll be like hyped up and it'll be like I want to play on that map, and then it'll break all servers. But yeah, I like Rotunda. I like the fact that when you leave spawn, if you go the wrong way, you have to like go up a ramp and then jump over a train before you can actually leave spawn and not know how to get to point. That for me is fucking genius. That is map making at its highest.
Yeah,
I like the fact that it's like circular in the middle. You can actually get lost. Like you could be running around and not know which is your like the exit to your spawn and which is like the other one. Yeah, it is one of those maps that is just so well gorgeous.
It's really
Like-
well. There's actually there's loads of little details. Like if you there's like
Yeah.
I think in like the bottom bit there's like a bit you can see like a guy. He's like his hand is sticking out of the coal and he's got like a hat there. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's loads of little things within Selborne, within the seal map as well, where like they're almost set pieces. Lots of little signs. I like the florist there where it talks about like it specializes in celebrations like birthdays, weddings, and espionage. But yeah, so a lot of the set pieces within Selborne are signs or pictures or things that kind of almost they add interest or points of interest, but no real character. Whereas with Rotund, it's like it's almost like it's telling you a story without using words. Like the moments that happen within that map feel like there's more to this map. There's got to be more to this map. There's got to be like I can imagine like the Halloween or the Smithmas version being absolutely fucking batshit insane and still feeling exactly right. Like they've setting themselves up for being a massive win at the end.
Yeah, I feel like they are setting themselves up to be like an iconic map.
I think it will stay in the
And
rotation.
even if even as you said there, like the Christmas one, like I can just think of an idea for it. Like considering the amount of coal in it, you could do like fucking Santa's workshop if you
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
it's
Literally.
set up like that. It just
It's brilliant. One of the first things that like I play with a bunch of people and we're all like sat in Discord and talking about the map and like the first reaction I got from a human being other than myself playing that map was, "Oh shit, this is a vertical map." Like even though you're in an enclosed space, when you get to mid, there's the lower ground area, there's the middle area, there's a massive, just an insanely huge area above you. And all around it are these kind of walkways, levels to get up to, little trains you can stand on, places you can build stuff, little back rooms, little isolated areas, and everything kind of links into each other. It is a masterclass of map building. It really stands like as being stands head and shoulders above everything else that was released during this update. For me, that is the pinnacle map. It's not my favorite, but it is the best made of the maps.
I'm back. Are we talking about Junction?
no, we're
Nope.
Yes, we are. It's all
Shut
junction
up.
all the way.
Disaster.
But no, wait. When you say, I just want to touch on. You said verticality. That is something that like very. I'm trying to think back to King of the Hill maps, but
Yeah.
basically none of them do verticality right. Like I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, but I love Sweden, and it's because it actually has verticality. Maps like Viaduct, I don't like because you can't really go that high. It's not very vertical. What other King of the Hill maps are there? High
Yeah.
Pass, is that the one?
So where Rotund wins and Sweden loses for me. Sweden is a beautiful map. It looks nice from the aesthetic perspective. But it's also, as you say, lots of verticality in there. You can be in the air a lot, and make those big kills from an and not only that, but everyone can get to those areas as well. Like it's not exclusively for the likes of Soldier and Deraman and like some very high skilled engineers to be able to jump up there. Everyone can get onto like the pagoda's upper levels. But where Suijin falls down and this one wins, from my perspective, are the sniper lines. Like the sniper lines in Suijin are just too much. You can see too far. You can stand pretty much in one of like 6 different locations and have just dominance over the map to the point that it's not fun playing anymore. Whereas Rotund, from my experience so far, hasn't fallen into that pitfall, and part of that is the amount of playtesting that goes into it. If you
Yeah, no.
if you
Uh,
follow Crash, either on his Twitter or go into TF2 Maps, you'll find that he is personally doing a lot of map testing, and there's opportunities to improve the map with him before it actually gets released.
While we're on the topic of big sniper sightlines, one of the stinkers from this update, in my opinion, is Venice, because of the sniper perch. It just kind of shuts it down. I played one game, and that was the only thing I remember, is that sniper perch completely shutting me down.
Was it?
I'm inclined to agree. Yeah. I feel like I'm saying more words than anybody else during this pod.
You just
Sorry
got a
for
lot
that.
to say. It's all right. We just gotta let you go.
I feel like one of those like little toy cars that you pull back and they're like shoot off. Just leave them to them. Yeah, you're right from what I've seen as well. I think Venice holds its own with regards to having like multiple planes of attack. With the water being there and everything, you can make like massive jumps. I think I got the feeling of it as being like a CS:GO map or again another Overwatch type rip-off map. But you're right; those sightlines just go on forever. You can get fucked over so badly by a bunch of snipers. I want to see like competitive players play it though. Like when everybody on team has an expectation of playing competitively or playing to that high degree. How will the
That
space
map
be
would
utilized?
stink. I'm sorry. It's like so small and like, but not to mention all the fucking missing textures everywhere. But it's kind of like so small and just a lot of it just kind of I don't know. It's just kind of like like how you go behind like the flank routes, it all just kind of feels like the same shit every time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of it's all boxed in, and it's just kind of like
Yeah. Do we know who made that map? Because it feels like a community map, but not a member that's made a lot of maps before.
I feel like someone like really likes Venice and they wanted Venice in TF2, so they went Venice first, then fun map later.
What was the thing we said earlier? We were like, oh yeah, that some guy must live in Venice who made it. And he loves Venice, but he's never been outside.
There's an Overwatch map apparently called Paris, and I think they started off with the idea of like duplicating the Overwatch map and calling it Venice as a bit of a tongue-in-cheek reaction to that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be real. I think Overwatch actually did it better. Like, I'm not too keen on this one.
One little thing that I like noticed.
Right, shut up, Sam.
Shut up, Sam. It's only funny when we do it.
Yeah.
So one thing I noticed that I don't know why everyone's telling me like it's not a big deal. One thing that's been bugging me since I first saw that map is like there's actual Italian flags. I don't know why, but it just puts me off of like TF2's whole aesthetic. I don't know why. It's just this little itch in my brain that's been going off since I saw that.
Like it's acknowledging a country other than America, or
yeah,
like even Australia or even New Zealand. Like both of those countries exist, but they exist for a reason. They exist because the developer created, like the developer Robin Walker is Australian. So the fact that Australia is part of that is almost a like a nod in his general direction. And the sniper is allegedly Australian, but he's actually from New Zealand. Like he's born as a New Zealander, and New Zealand isn't a real place; it's a fictional place that's underwater. Like that kind of like that lore building is great because it sets you up. You think you know where you stand. Oh, I know where New Zealand is, but then what you discover. The game's interpretation of what New Zealand is, a place that lives underwater under a glass dome that was cracked and broken into and everybody got flooded out. Like, that's not fucking New Zealand. That's not New Zealand we know. So the fact that they're looking at Venice and Venice being like a place in Italy with the actual Italian flag, and there's no other thing. If there was a blog post or a comic that mentioned Venice, then it would be a funny thing. But it's not. It's just a throwback. It's not even a throwback. It's a throw forward, but there's no one there to catch the ball. I'm completely in agreement with you.
Another thing, I'm just, I think I saw this. The Italian flags, the way they are actually hung up, they're not fucking Italian flags. They're Hungarian flags. By the way,
how do you fuck that up? I'm sorry.
The way, because so basically, a flag, you read it from the pole to the end of the flag, but the way that they've textured it.
Oh, so it's instead of it being like, because I thought it was the Irish flag when I first saw it.
So like,
if
it's kind of
colours
like
the wrong way around.
It's like the Ivory Coast flag, but it's like it's not even like it's flipped. Like I'll give an example. Ivory Coast flag is orange, white, and green. Irish flag is green, white, and orange. But it's not even that. It's flipped on its side. I think. Yeah, it's flipped on its side, so it's top, middle, bottom instead of like 3 segments.
Yeah, I get you.
They fucked that up. The one defining thing about Venice, like that it's in Italy.
And
so maybe this is in-game version of Venice, which is actually in Hungary.
It's in Hungary, yeah.
They're fucking with their minds.
It would be cool if the map like hinted towards that more, but it's just like if you can write it off as a mistake, then
I think we need
all of the posters. Actually, has anyone bothered to look at the books that are in the library? The titles might all be in Hungarian.
I think
we've made an assumption.
We need Matt, Pat. We know everything. We need a game theory going.
we need a game theory.
That's just a theory.
We need a game theory.
You set the line.
I did it. I did the funny. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, what Azel in the chat is saying, it doesn't feel like it's set within TF2's world, and I completely agree with that.
It kind of feels more like CS:GO, like it's got.
That's what I was exactly about to say. It feels like a CS. Like even I don't know. There is a CS:GO map, and it actually feels nearly identical. I can't remember its name. I don't think it's a competitive map, but you're walking through the canals.
I know which one you mean.
Yeah,
know
and
what
it's
it's called
actually it
either.
leads into the ocean as well, which
Is it the map that's called Canals?
Possibly.
So
Yes,
the thing, like, yeah, anyway, sorry, I'm taking the piss. But there's like the CS 1.6 certainly, which is like the game that I played when I first started playing
That one's great.
FPSs. CS 1.6 had the idea of like very like the back rooms, like it's corridors, and that's the impression I get from all of the spaces and all the surfaces and all the rooms, all of the passageways on Venice. They're square-sided corridors. So it makes you feel like you're in a map as opposed to at a location. It just doesn't feel as well developed as a lot of the stuff that Team Fortress 2 has been known to do in the past.
It just kind of felt rushed. I
This-
think.
This map feels like the Woodville of this update.
I wouldn't go that. I
no,
wouldn't say
no,
it's
no,
that
yeah, I
bad.
wouldn't go
but,
that
like,
far, but
but it's pretty.
I-
It kind of feels like it feels like there should be another half of the map that's just not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's a bit too
I was
small.
I was in actual Venice, and it was smelly. It smelled really bad. It was really cramped. It was too hot. It was just like a complete shithole. So
Okay.
and then you realize, oh my god, I haven't left
it-
Bosnia yet.
it only works when we do it, Sam. I'm sorry.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Guys, quick, no.
That was excellent. Yeah, well
Yeah,
played.
there
well
we go.
played.
Thank you.
Excellent.
So-
Shut
Put up,
up.
Tish.
These fucking sound effects off. Get like Steinfeld.
Shut up. Ugh.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Kona in the chat saying was there any spy tech instruments on Venice either? I don't remember seeing any. That's a good point. Those like hidden rooms and like spy stuff. That's what makes a lot of maps like
Yeah,
work.
why would that be in Venice though? You know what I mean? I mean, also,
Yeah.
is it just me? But have you noticed that like the spawn room on Blue on Venice looks like a fucking trade server?
it does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Is that just
Well,
me?
the one with the cages and the
Yeah,
windows and stuff.
Yeah, like
a
the
little bit.
walls. It's like all shiny. It's got like that same
Yeah.
texture.
It isn't inherently a bad thing. I mean, trade servers, they're like home.
Yeah, I love trade servers,
We
but
do.
like, you
Trade
know,
servers.
I don't really want my TF2 maps feeling like trade servers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've never understood why people like trade servers.
I mean, I
It
like
is-
them
it-
because they're like
it-
because it's just like chill. It's kind of like the same reason why people like 2-4 and High
It's just
Tower.
kind of like hanging out. You know,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like you're not really doing anything. I just kind of go into voice chat, start yelling at people. I unwind.
It's the not playing TF2 version of playing TF2.
Yeah, but like that's not a bad thing. Like you don't always want to be in an intense game. You know what I mean?
I do. Give me the adrenaline.
Oh come on,
It's all I can live for in my time of life.
Oh, can we? I was gonna say, oh, let's all
Wait,
ask about.
have we actually asked Agro his favorite map of the
Well, yeah, I was just about to say, I was gonna ask about what about our favorite worst. I was gonna say, what's all our worst maps? But I think I'm not sure.
Shitting on Cloud for such a long time.
I'm
Don't
not-
actually played a lot of the maps. I want to say it's probably going to be Phoenix is my favorite because of the potential for like its verticality that has access to it. So obviously Rotunda is my like top map, and it'd be very difficult to knock that down. But like the favorite of the funny type maps, I think is Phoenix, just for the lows I've had on that map at the time. But there's weird maps as well, like is it hardwood or something?
I'm not playing
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That's the only one I
Yeah.
haven't played. Oh, no,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
good.
I played for like 30 minutes and it crashed my PC. But yeah, like there's so many of these maps that it's still too new. It's still too new for us to really have any realistic or seasoned expectations of what to have from these. One thing I do love though that got shit on quite hard was Cashworks. I've always loved that map. As a pyro, there's lots of little sharp corridors, places where people think they can hide, but
Is
they
that
can't
the one
hide
that looks
from
like
me.
Swiftwater?
It's the
I-
one, yeah, a little bit like
okay.
Swiftwater.
It's the
Yeah,
one
I
that has.
that one's
It's like the
cool.
looking
See-
shed with a bit that goes down the.
And it has like that really,
slope.
it has that like really romantic bridge where you could like imagine doing your honeymoon.
Yeah.
Freddie, why
I
is that the
can imagine
first
doing
fucking
something
thing
like
that comes
Well,
to your
'cause that
mind?
was the first. Was the
Oh
one thing I
yes,
remember.
I want to have my honeymoon in TF2.
Well, that's the first thing.
Yes.
No, because I remember when we first logged in,
Yeah.
I was like, "This map is beautiful," and I said to my
Yeah,
friend,
yeah.
"Oi, let's get married." And
Yeah,
he was-
you proposed to me right then and there. I
and
remember.
then he was like, "Oh, buddy, not now. I'm not ready."
No, but that map is. The start of it I don't like the massive hill. It's a really cool idea. The massive hill is on Cashworks, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yes. That's a really cool idea, but it ends up just being the blue team pushing straight through it and barely having any defense, in my experience.
So I
But
think
then, as you get to the end of the level, that's when it starts getting good. If you when you push like to like last
over that
2-3
romantic
points.
bridge and then go into that sort of glass area. I think with all of these things, it depends on how you play. Like there's the meta within the meta for upward. For playing casual upward is much more reflective of the competitive version of upward, in that you have a feel for how long you can hold first point for, and then as you feel like you're about to lose first, everybody, like all of the engineers, pick up their gear and they move it back to defending like up the hill or defending the area around second. Whereas if in Cashworks, it's still sort of too new for I know it's not new at all. It's been in existence in the community for a long time, but it's still sort of new, the idea of the what the meta should be. And I think when people get over the idea of trying to put all of the effort into stopping people like catching first or capturing first, and stop putting into holding that hill, I think it's going to be a lot more fun for a lot of people to play. But I mean that's just a lot of the time when I'm like waxing lyrical about a map, it's because I've been playing it for years and it's only just got into the game. I think like with this idea of like a whole bunch of new people joining, we've got to get over that hump. We've got to get over the new shiny thing and get used to it being there. And then when you sat with it for a long time, you'll start playing it differently, and people will find interesting, exciting ways to play. And as much as I love it as Pyro at the moment, I'm sure like spies are going to absolutely fucking adore Cashworks. So I don't know what you guys play. I mean, I'm assuming Indy plays Spy, Party plays Scout, and Sam plays Irish Scout.
I played Soldier.
yeah,
more. I don't
basically.
actually play that
He
much.
plays
Scout.
the Skewit.
See, Party just uses Scout because he's like.
If I look like a soldier, it just wouldn't make sense, would it?
Yeah, no, like your like Nikki voice coming out of the
Yeah,
song.
Yeah, you're right.
I play basically every class except Sniper equally. I just hate Sniper. It's just great, sucks. But yeah.
That's legit.
One thing I want to mention, because we've got to start wrapping things up soon, because
Oh really? Shit.
yeah,
Okay,
we're nearly running out of time. But one thing I was gonna say is that I was gonna ask everyone.
Are we though? Are we going to run out of time? Have people got other things to do?
Sam
Can this not
does.
just be the episode that goes on for 3 hours?
Yeah, if you want to, but I think Sam has to go soon.
Sam has to go.
My
He's
sister
gonna-
is kicking me out of the room in 20 minutes.
So,
I'm
this
not
is
even
about-
lying.
This is
Yeah.
about.
Can we get your sister on instead?
No,
Oh,
we're
please.
not.
You know, I've got her on Snapchat. We've been talking.
Shut
during
up,
this
Party.
podcast.
Fuck off.
We get your mum on. I'm probably more your mum's age.
Let's
Let's
If-
face
if
it,
you're
man,
being
you don't know who
genuine
your dad is, so
Go on, share the love, Sam.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. We're not doing Party. I know more information than you. I know more about you than you know
Right,
about me.
let's not do doxing wars, okay, and start spreading IPs.
Dox wars.
Okay.
Worst
All right.
podcast.
What I was
Because
gonna-
we know if it does come down to that, I
Right, we're
will
not
win.
doing
We
it,
know
Sam.
that.
All right, we're not. Well, we'll have a dox. let's keep it a dox Cold War for now, okay? All right.
All right.
All right. Anyway.
Mutual assured destruction.
Anyway, the one thing I wanted to say is that I was going to ask everyone about their least favorite map in the update, but I don't know. All right, this might not be true, but I think most of us agree that Sulfur not the best.
It looks
It's
pretty,
not the worst
but,
though.
it-
Not Cash
hell is
Works,
Sulfur?
Venice.
Sulfur. Do you know which one Sulfur is? It's like the Japanese one, like the really Japanese one.
I am not even certain I've played it yet.
It's got 4 points. It's attack defend, and it's like it has a similar thing to Steel going on.
Yeah, it's like a
No.
last point that can be capped at any time, but then they capped the point and they didn't win, and I was like, what?
Because they can cap it back. That's what it is. But it's not great, but it's not the it's definitely not the worst.
So the thing with Sulfur, my biggest thing is I genuinely don't know how it works. I've been like doing research. I've been trying to figure it out.
That is such a lie.
No, okay, Sam.
I've been doing research.
Okay, this was the extent of my research. Sulfur TF2 wiki. This page has not been made. Okay, I guess I'll never know.
No, I've played the shit out of this. This has been in the community for ages. I love this map.
You like this map?
I think it's a brilliant. Yeah, this is a brilliantly made map. I'm so
No, it
glad that you brought it up. But there's loads of little camping places for teleports and sentry guns. Like there's a mid section that you think is going to be great to jump into, like lovely water. But as soon as you jump in, it starts burning you.
Oh yeah.
It's a genius map. There's loads of really. This is going to be good. Eventually, when people start playing it right, it's going to be a lot of fun.
The thing is with that map, I think like how it looks is that it looks fucking beautiful. Like the SFM like scene is gonna go fucking mental with this. All right, I'm just saying it is genuinely a fucking fantastic looking map. But from what I've seen like so far in the first like 3 days, it's just people being confused of like how it actually works, because it has like this like D main thing going on, but when you cap it, you don't actually win. It just like, I think it increases it adds like a time limit on it, so I assume it increases the time, but I don't really know. It's like, it's not really explained.
It is complicated. Yeah, I mean, I fully get you because like steel is complicated. So if you're struggling with steel and it's been like 7 years now, you're definitely going to struggle with this.
I mean, I'm fine with steel. It's just that this one is like, it's like kind of like steel, but
It's
it's not
new
really
steel.
steel.
Party, every single
new steel.
time we get queued up for steel, you go, oh my god, I hate this map.
Well, I don't
I
like
love
steel. I
steel.
know how it works. I don't really like it that much. It's like
I
okay.
love steel.
Yeah,
Favorite
because you're
map.
like El Maxo pills, but like
Wow.
Wow.
No,
What
I had that
colour?
That's my. I'm
I was gonna
comp
say-
pilled. All right.
What
pill.
what colour is the El Maxo pill?
I don't know, blue and black.
What color is
Purple?
Tomato pill?
Yeah, but
I've
Kiss
taken
yellow?
I've taken the
Like,
Facebook pill.
I think it's a light blue and yellow, probably.
No, I think it's like a pill of frozen urine, but with a bit of like blood in it.
what that great. Let's
So,
hope he's let's hope
yeah.
he's not
If you would look at the live chat right now, the results are in, and we got
Oh.
absolutely done.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Wow.
you asked for that. I don't know who would be stupid enough to post that, but
Wow.
congratulations. This guy's wins.
What happened?
We've lost.
What happened?
Wrong option.
What happened? I'm not looking at the chat.
What I posted? What's the best one? Kritzkast brackets wrong option. One with a 80% landslide against Swishcast.
Wow. Where is it?
There we go.
Hey.
Congrats.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. Maybe in time I'll learn to appreciate it more. But so far I've not been that much of a fan. I think it looks really nice though. I think that
I
bottom.
think
one-
all the maps look nice
Except,
Venice,
Venice.
because I know what it really is.
Yeah, deep down. Yeah.
I've been
Deep
I've
down.
been there.
Let's go deep down. It's just fair enough. Surface level, it's not as good as it could be.
All right, I think we should start doing the outro now. Do you
Yeah.
do you want to do that? But what we do before we end each podcast is that we talk to we like get the chat up, let them ask any questions. If you want to say anything, bring anything up before we go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, any mini topics you guys want us to cover? Now's
Yeah,
your chance.
Now is your chance before we wrap things up for Sam, because he needs to get out of his sister's room.
'Cause-
I'm not in my I'm in like the office. All right. Okay. I've said this before, and it sounds weird out of context. I'm my computer's in a shed, but it's not just like it's not like an unfurnished shed, like a tool shed. It's like a furnished
Oh, yeah.
shed.
You
You
got all
know.
those like Swiss sheds in the garden that's got like carpet and stuff.
Kind of. I have like a shitty version of one of them, basically.
All right,
we-
so you got the
we-
home-based version of that.
He's only allotted
I'll
2
turn on my
hours.
camera for 2 seconds. I'll show
Please
you
don't.
what I mean. It's not. I'm not gonna. It's literally just like, it's
Is
very
that-
small.
Is that actual brick, or have you got
No,
like
it-
wallpaper covered like?
Yeah, it's wallpaper.
It's
but,
stream.
Oh,
The
Jesus.
I'm
stream
ruining
can't
the
see that.
illusion,
Sam,
but
just so you
literally,
know.
it's like I can,
So for people watching at home that can't see you do this, your camera,
yeah.
Sam turns on his camera and he's getting his genitals out. And
No.
it looks like shit.
Sam's
No,
appeared,
but like I can.
he's appeared to insert something up his arse. I'm not sure quite
Yeah.
sure what it is.
I'm just saying, like I can
I
literally.
hope your sister doesn't walk in.
Oh, there he comes.
Look at the
Pipe
size of the
down, pipe
insertion.
down.
It's ridiculous. There you are. He's cut off the camera now. It's fine. Thanks for
all
sharing.
right. All right, we have some questions in. Agro, who's your least favorite Swishcast member?
Jesus
Answer.
Christ.
Okay.
There are so many to choose from, though.
Oh, well.
There's so many.
I don't know. I think my favorite is actually. I don't know. This wasn't the question that was asked, but it's Indy. because Indy originally reached out to me and like shared a bunch of information. To my mind at least, Indy did work. So
I do work
Indy
as
is
well.
like the
I
aggro.
do work as
No,
well. Sam does nothing.
get, you know,
All right,
no,
Sam does nothing.
I didn't see the work you did, so that's
Yeah, no,
I
you can.
showed
I
up.
did the
Thank you very
animation. Look,
much.
not your one, but the other
Okay,
ones.
so to answer the question, your least favorite is Sam because he's factually not done anything and he's getting kicked
That's
out.
true. That is true. You've
showed
done
up.
nothing.
There's certainly a degree of that. I didn't want to say it. I mean, that's an interpretation that might have been made. No, I think you're all great guys. I'm very very grateful for the opportunity to come in and talk to you and talk with you, I should say.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
No, you've
We
been-
have
you've
this
been one of the
question
best
from
ones.
Widgeon every single episode. He asks every guest.
Mhm.
So, question for Agro: opinion on Wales,
Or the country or the
The country.
country.
country. I think it's a beautiful country. I've not personally been there, but I know people who have. And they escaped okay.
There you go, Widgeon. Okay, let's see what's next. Azel asks, how do we feel about the war paints they added?
I think
Jesus.
they were a banger.
Me
Honestly.
too.
Yeah,
Okay, can I give you a hint on this? Or not necessarily a hint, but like maybe a word of advice. This is the
Alright.
first fucking update that they've given us, which wasn't Smithmas or whatever. Don't blow your load all in the first episode. You've got plenty of opportunities to talk about. This is the only bloody update you're going to be talking about for the next 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Save
I
some of
mean,
it for next time.
we got. I reached out to you before the update came out, so we weren't even planning on talking
No,
about
exactly.
it.
I feel like I've had my fucking. This is the Agro Kritzkast moment, and it's been bloody destroyed by this wretched update that's come out and spoiled all my fun. So
I
yeah.
stole your thunder.
Screw you guys. I'm not going to let you talk about like war paints. Talk about it next week or next month or whenever the fuck
Yeah.
you do it.
He says no. No, we
He's-
will not.
no.
You want us to
No.
talk about war paints? No! No!
How dare you?
Bad!
Uh,
Get out!
Arkham Slayer asks, what does Sam think of the changes made to CP Steel?
Haven't actually played CP Steel yet, so don't
Sam,
know.
answer the man the question
What are the
properly.
changes?
Alright, come
There
on.
was a shutter, one shutter added. There was like a shutter added, and they fixed a few glitches. I think that's about it.
Absolutely insane.
So absolutely game changing, meta destroying, that type of thing. Unplayable now. So that's my opinion.
Red Dynamite asks, what do you think about the new Transformers movie?
Oh, banger. Let's go. You see when
Is that the one with the gorilla?
Yeah, no.
Transform-
See when it was me, the bomb, Ness, and we were all up in Edinburgh. We went to watch the Mario movie. We went in, we sit our seats, and then the funniest thing was when the stupid Transformers trailer came on. Fucking gorilla comes down. He's like, "I am not the one you should fear," and then we all just started
Is
laughing.
this the TF2 podcast?
Yeah, no, sorry. This is now the Transformers podcast.
The Transformers Tubers Club.
Well, it's TF Transform. Yeah, it kind of works.
The Team Fortress Formers. That's not...
Team Formers.
Fighting hard against the Decepticons.
Transfortress sounds like something else.
Transformers.
That's like the TF2 community on Tumblr.
Oh.
Yoki asks, any charity plans we looking forward to? I don't know what that means.
I think they want us to do a charity stream.
We'll keep a hush hush on that. All right.
There's been talks. All right.
We're discussing.
So, for my part,
we do hate charity.
Yeah, every year for the last few years, we've done a Kritzkast has been involved in a big charity event in Sweden. Sorry, TF Connect has been in Sweden. TF Connect has been going on for the last few years, certainly from our experience. And there's some discussion that might happen again this year. And if it does, there's going to be just fucking awesome shit. So I'm actually at this point, with a little bit that I know, I can't talk about any of it, but I can say it's gonna be amazing. So that's not until later in the year. But if you guys have got something coming up, then that'd be kind of cool.
I think we're gonna do our own thing. I don't think we're allowed in TF Connect. But yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
if you could be, then you can't anymore. Now that I know you.
Wow.
All right.
You
We
blew it.
really,
Me, Party and Indy, and a couple other people had a discussion. It is like very early
Yeah,
stages.
we have ideas.
We have ideas. If we were
something-
gonna do it, we were gonna consult with somebody who's actually ran a charity event.
We'd want
make
someone
sure-
who
'cause if you-
knows what they're
If
doing.
you fuck up a charity event,
it's over.
it's Jover. Like you are,
So-
you know.
On that note, I'd say just do it, but there's one rule with charity events, which is don't touch the money.
Yeah,
As
no,
long as you
obviously.
don't touch the money, then you're probably going to be okay. Yeah, exactly. The audience will be very forgiving of you. You can get away with not doing things properly or not doing them well. And I'd say like get a lot of your mistakes out the first time you do it. Just have fun, screw it up. Don't potentially raise any money. But if you do, make sure that it goes to charity. Make sure it goes directly to charity. Does not pass go.
Do you remember
well,
that?
the thing is, we were going to use what's that website? Tiltify. So I don't think that doesn't touch any of our accounts.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
Any other questions there?
wait, do you guys,
Party?
wait,
Or Indy?
on the topic of charity, do you guys remember when what was it Whammo did that MVM charity event?
I was in that, yes.
And then after it was done, he posted a picture of him in Thailand in a massive hot tub saying, "Just moved out of my house." I'm not accusing him of anything. I'm just saying it was funny.
Okay.
It was a weird coincidence.
The thing was on Tiltify, so he couldn't have.
Okay.
It's
I'm not
funny
saying
that
anything happened.
timing
I'm
is
just saying
funny.
it was funny.
The timing is funny.
The timing was
Yeah.
very funny.
Yeah, there are definitely individuals that I wouldn't work with in the future, and Whammo would be one of them.
Oh,
I
well,
agreed.
He doesn't really do TF2.
Wasn't
anymore, so.
wasn't
He's
fun.
He's like the internet antichrist now, or whatever. It's like,
He wouldn't go that far, but he's
no, internet. That's his channel name.
No, that's a new
internet anarchist.
Antichrist. Where'd you get that one from?
Antichrist, Jesus.
Something entirely different, but actually, when it comes down to it, probably the same thing.
Let's see. Any more questions? What do you think about the Breaking Bad reference in Phoenix? I don't.
Where?
There's a Better Call Saul reference.
Yeah.
Where?
Epic.
Oh,
Like,
fucking genius! I love the fact that these things exist. I mean, as with all things, whatever you can get away with, you won't get sued on.
I hope there's a giant cease and desist, and we never get a summer update again.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Dream come true. Wait, what was it? I don't actually know about it.
True.
it was a sign that says Better Call Conager, I think.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good. I like that.
yeah.
I love that. That's cool. No, that's fine. That's cool as fuck.
Let's see. Thoughts on the new Fortnite season? I'm gonna skip that one.
No, go back.
Is there anything
Agro,
TFT
didn't you say
related?
you had questions for us, or are you just pissing with us?
I think it was just pissing with us.
Have you ever had, or do you ever expect to have anyone on that you would not be drinking with them? Like, would you ever stay sober for a cast member or for a special guest? That question only to Sam.
We say so. I think you would stay sober if we got Zane custom weapons on, but everyone else,
Wow, absolutely.
I would stay. Actually, no. I'd stay sober for like Lazy Purple to give him more respect. And then if it was somebody I really hated, I'd get even more hammered, so I could just become even more belligerent.
Just belligerent, yeah, it's like the entire thing. Just randomly shouting shit.
Yeah. What the fuck up, man? What are you talking about?
Calm down, Sam. It'll be alright.
Man, I'm already 2 shots in.
This year 8 drama. This is quite heated.
All right.
So we're reviewing this application, and Agro, I'm pretty sure you will be able to take Sam's place.
Nailed it.
Let's see. What's your favorite Wayland video? Skip that one.
I'm banning Whale from his chat. Put user in timeout.
Whaling cast, yeah.
You did actually.
Oh my god! All right, for Wayland.
For Wayland. I think that's about it.
That's about it.
If there's anything you want to say, before we go off the air, Agro, now's your chance.
Yeah, check out Kritzkast, KRATZ, KST, everywhere. That's easy on Twitch, on YouTube, on Twitter. Those are the good things to go to. But more importantly, make sure that Swishcast actually gets their social media sorted out, and when they do, follow them there, because I'm sure they're going to be something awesome in the world of Team Fortress 2, if they're not already right now.
Yeah,
Very
let's do that,
kind
Indy.
words.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
That's about it.
So, yeah,
Let's go off the air. Sam's pissing me off.
yeah, Sam. You know what? Right, we're gonna go off.
Kill you, any man. What the fuck?
Put your mum on, Sam.
Right,
Let's get
so-
it over with.
Fuck Agro. We invite you